Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel NeuroPedia Unlocking the Brain. In this YouTube video, we will discuss neurotransmitters. So what are neurotransmitters? Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that transmit signals in the nervous system. They play a crucial role in communication between the nerve cells. So in this diagram, you can see clearly that the communication between these two takes place with the help of neurotransmitters. So neurotransmitters are actually chemical messengers that allow neurons to communicate with each other. They are released from the axon terminal of one neuron and bind to the receptors on the dendrites of the another neuron. So here you can clearly see this. So it is the magnified version of this diagram, and this is the axon terminal of the presynaptic neuron, and these are the neurotransmitters that are present in these vesicles, and the presynaptic neuron is releasing these neurotransmitters, and here these are binding onto the receptors that are present on the postsynaptic neurons. So they helps in transmitting information from body parts, like here from body parts to the brain and from brain to different parts of the body. So that's how the information goes to the brain and come back to different body parts. Now if we talk about why these neurotransmitters important, like why do we need these neurotransmitters? These are just tiny chemicals, so why these are important? So these are very important because they allow neurons to communicate with each other and coordinate all the body's functions. They are involved in everything from basic bodily functions such as breathing and heart rate to complex cognitive processes such as learning and memory, emotion and behavior. So see, these are very important. For example, if I give you, glutamate is the most abundant excitatory neurotransmitter in the brain, and it is essential for learning and memory as well as for many other cognitive functions. GABA is the most abundant inhibitory neurotransmitter in the brain, and it is involved in regulating anxiety, stress and sleep. Likewise, we have dopamine, which is involved in motivation, reward and pleasure. So overall, we can say that these neurotransmitters, they play a vital role in our overall health and well-being. Classification of neurotransmitters. So these neurotransmitters are classified into different categories based on their chemical structure, function, location of synthesis and by site of action. So one by one we'll discuss each of these. So first comes the chemical structure. So first one is the amino acids. It includes glutamate, GABA, glycine, aspartate, etc. Then we have monoamines. Monoamines contains dopamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine, serotonin, histamine, etc. and they play key roles in mood regulation, reward and other functions. Next is peptides. Peptides includes oxytocin, vasopressin, endorphins, neuropeptide Y, etc. And these neuropeptides are larger molecules like endorphins and substance P, which are involved in pain perception, mood and stress response. The last one of this includes the purines. Adenosine triphosphate is example of purines, and adenosine is an example of purine neurotransmitter and is involved in regulating sleep and dilating blood vessels. If we talk about functions, so we have excitatory neurotransmitters, inhibitory neurotransmitters and modulatory transmitters. Excitatory neurotransmitters increases the likelihood that the receiving neuron will fire an action potential. These neurotransmitters are like the gas pedal for your brain, and they stimulate and excite neurons, encouraging them to fire electrical signals. Inhibited neurons, in contrast, act as the brakes. They calm down and inhibit the firing of neurons, making it less likely for a neuron to send signals. Then we have modulatory neurotransmitters, which influences the effects of another other neurotransmitters. Modulatory neurotransmitters are a bit different, like they don't directly cause neurons to fire or stop firing. Instead, they adjust the overall state and behavior of the brain. These neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine can influence mood, motivation, and various cognitive processes. They act more like the mood setters or flavor enhancers in your brain. Like if I give you if I explain you in more detail, so think these excitatory, first let's talk about excitatory neurotransmitter, like think like these are the excitatory chefs and are like the ones who add spicy, zesty ingredients to your dishes when they cook up something. It's like a burst of flavor and excitement. These chefs make your neurons fire up and go, wow, that's tasty. They use neurotransmitter like spicinylline and peppy dopamine to make the brain dance. On the other hand, the inhibitory chefs are like the calm and soothing cooks. They use ingredients like chill serotonin and relax GABA. When they prepare a dish, it's like a gentle, soothing massage for your neurons. They say, take it easy, folks, and help your brain relax. So this is how these excitatory and inhibitory neurotransmitter works. So your brains is like a restaurant where these chefs, the excitatory and inhibitory neurotransmitter, work together to create the perfect balance of excitement and relaxation of your mental menu, or we can say health. Let's talk about location of synthesis. So first includes the classical neurotransmitters, or we can say the small molecule neurotransmitters. Then we have neuropeptides and the gases. These classical neurotransmitters are synthesized in the neuron, basically in the axon terminal of the neuron. These are relatively small molecules that are synthesized within neuron and stored in the synaptic vesicles. They are released into the synaptic cleft when an action potential reaches the axon terminal. Examples of these includes dopamine, that is involved in reward, motivation and motor control; serotonin, which regulates mood, appetite and sleep; GABA, which is an inhibitory neurotransmitter that reduces neuron activity. Neuropeptides, they are synthesized in the cell body of the neuron and transported to the axon terminal. Neuropeptides are larger molecules composed of amino acids and are synthesized in the cell body of the neuron, often at the rough endoplasmic reticulum. They are transported down to the axon to be stored in the secretory vesicle. These are released into the synaptic cleft in a different manner from small molecule neuropeptides, often in response to higher frequency stimulation. Examples of neuropeptides include endorphins, which is involved in pain modulation and the body's natural pain relief mechanism. Then we have substance P as well. These small molecule neurotransmitters here, they typically mediate fast synaptic transmission, while the neuropeptides are involved in more prolonged and modulatory effects. The last one includes the gases. Gases neurotransmitter are synthesized in the presynaptic neuron and diffuse across the synapse. These neurotransmitters are unique class of neurotransmitters that function as signaling molecules in the nervous system. Examples include nitric oxide, carbon monoxide. Nitric oxide is a simple gas that functions as a neurotransmitter and a signaling molecule in various physiological processes. It plays a role in regulating blood vessels dilation, which affects blood flow. Carbon monoxide is another gaseous neurotransmitter which signaling function It has been found to play a role in the regulation of blood flow, particularly in the brain. The last one, we have neurotransmitter that are classified by the site of action. So we have two different category in this. First one is the central neurotransmitter and second one is the peripheral neurotransmitter. The central neurotransmitter acts on neurons in the brain and spinal cord, whereas peripheral neurotransmitter acts on neurons in the peripheral nervous system. So here's the summary of what I have explained in this video. So you can see classification, neurotransmitter, chemical structure, function, location of synthesis and site of action of different neurotransmitter in this table. For example, amino acids, neurotransmitter is glutamate, its chemical structure is this, its function is excitatory, location of synthesis is axon terminal, site of action central and peripheral both. So this is just the overview whatever I have explained in the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. For such more videos, like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel NeuroPedia Unlocking the Brain.